Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we're going to have a little chat about this, what appears to be a new combat patrol for the Orks. And you know what? This is actually a pretty decent box, I reckon. So, within this combat patrol, which, by the way, makes total sense that they're going to replace the start collecting with a combat patrol, the start collecting is no longer available, and of course they're going to want to bring out a combat patrol to coincide with the new codex. So it all makes sense, all good. And honestly, this box is pretty decent. You've got 20 boys in there, you've got the war boss in mega armor, you've got a Death Dread, and 3 of the new Death Copters. The old Death Copter is dead, long live the new Death Copters, the old one was terrible, and we never have to look at it ever again. Oh my god, what a good day. So yeah, this looks like a decent box. Now I'm working on the assumption that this will go for exactly the same price point as all the other combat patrols. They have a distinct cost to them, which is £85. Every single time we've seen one of these, a lot of the time there's been approval and it's been a case of, okay, well, that's fine. As long as it sticks with that £85 price point, all good. And every single one of these boxes makes a combat patrol, so 500 points. To be honest, I still much prefer these to the start collecting ones. They are far more consistent. You know exactly what you're getting within each box. Yeah, I think it's just a better system overall. It is more expensive, it is a higher barrier to entry for sure, but there is just a flat out consistency and guarantee of this is what you're going to get out of this box, this is the size of game that you can play, and every single one of these is equivalent, as opposed to like some start collectings were like 500 points, some of them were 250 or 285. That's not great. That's not a good way to get someone introduced, because what one person buys to then fight another person, for instance, say 2 friends decide that they're going to both get in, one of them goes for the Demons of Slaanesh and the other one goes for, I don't know, one of the Space Marine ones. Demons of Slaanesh was ultra cheap in terms of points, and that's just not a good start to anything really, when something that's supposed to be roughly equivalent, or at least is presented as roughly equivalent, is actually not roughly equivalent in any way. This far more stable approach is much better, I reckon. So if they do stick to that £85, which I'm sure they will, then this looks to be really good value, honestly. I mean, let's face it, we know that the Orks are most likely going to be more expensive. Like, the boys themselves are going to be more expensive. They're currently £22.50, and that's the old kit. This is a new kit. Those are the new sculpts, and so we should expect a price rise for these of at least a £5. I'm going to suggest that they're probably going to go up to at least $27.50. I would not be surprised if they're a little bit more than that. It would be lovely if they stayed at the same price that they are now, but that strikes me as being very, very unlikely. The Death Dread is like $32.50, I believe. Yes, I got that right. It's $32.50. It's difficult to know what to compare the Death Copters to, because they are brand new. Perhaps the Bikers? The Bikers make sense, in which case they will be probably more expensive than that. So if we put those at about £30 as well, then, I mean, at a conservative estimate, you're looking at, like, say 30 for the Death Copters. If we round it all out and say that pretty much everything in there, apart from the War Boss, is 25 to 30 quid, not counting the War Boss at all as a single character, that's going to be up there, you know, at the £20 mark as well. You're probably saving roughly kind of 30 to 40 quid on buying all of this stuff separately. However, there is one thing that does concern me with this, and I mention buying all these things separately because there is still precedent for not being able to get certain kits outside of these combat patrol boxes, right? Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that at least one of these things may end up being exclusive to this combat patrol. Now, I would hope that that's not the case, but just a part of me feels like maybe the War Boss, the Mega Armored War Boss, or maybe even the Death Copters might be only available in this combat patrol. And I know what you're thinking, well, is that the case for any of the others? I mean, when you look at all the others, you've got all the Necron stuff, that's all available in separate boxes, same with the Space Wolves, the Death Guard, Death Watch, Drukhari, Blood Angels, none of these have got exclusive sculpts, but there is one that does have that, and that's the Combat Patrol Space Marines. Now that contains the suppressors. You cannot get the suppressors anywhere else. They are not available. So if we go up here and search for them, actually look for suppressors, it'd be good if we could type, wouldn't it? That's what you get. That's it. Now, I would hope that they're not going to repeat that, but this one box gives me doubts, is the thing. All the other boxes are grand. All the other boxes you can get all the content separately, but there is this one outlier. There is this one combat patrol which still has an exclusive unit, and I just feel like there's a possibility that we might see that. We might see that for this box as well. I really hope that's not the case. I hope that's just me being extra paranoid and just kind of being somewhat faithless in some respects, but I would not be surprised. I just hope that it's not a thing that actually happens, because I mean the Deathcopters are a great replacement for the old one, and there hasn't been a Mega Armoured Warboss outside of Ghazghkull available separately for forever, maybe? Has there ever... Now I'm trying to think, has there ever been a Mega Armoured Warboss model that has just been that and not... Like... Because I remember having to use Ghazghkull but converted back in like 3rd edition, and I don't remember seeing one since. In which case, wow, that's... wow. But yeah, I hope that's not the case. It's still a decent looking box. It's still a good box. The contents are still pretty good. The fact that you get a full 20 boys in there is really nice. Of course, you got the knobs leading them as well, which is good. It's a decent combat patrol. It's a good box. I just hope that there isn't any exclusive stuff attached to it, because that would sour things a little bit. And given that I am increasingly driving towards picking up Orks again after a since 3rd edition, like near 20-year hiatus off them. Oh, it's tempting. It's real tempting, this. It's real tempting. It's a good box. What do you reckon, though? Good content, bad content? What do you think of the possibility of something being exclusive to this? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things. Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you'd like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.